The summer of 1890 weighed heavy over Fall River, Massachusetts. The streets buzzed with the industry of the textile mills, but inside the modest yet strangely austere home of the Borden family, tension simmered. Andrew Borden, the patriarch, was a stern and miserly man, despite his considerable wealth. His daughters, Lizzie and Emma, resented their stepmother, Abby, whom they believed had wormed her way into the family to secure their father's fortune. Lizzie, 32, unmarried and restless, carried a quiet intensity about her. She was active in her church, but whispers in the household spoke of a deeper discontent. Relations with her stepmother had grown so strained that Lizzie refused to call her mother, instead referring to her coldly as Mrs. Borden. The oppressive atmosphere of the home only deepened when Andrew gifted a house to Abby's relatives while refusing to improve his own. Thursday, August 4, 1892, dawned unremarkable. The Borden's maid, Bridget Sullivan, awoke early to begin her chores despite nursing a headache. Breakfast was a quiet, tense affair. Lizzie was distant, Abby busy with the housework, and Andrew typically reserved. That morning, Abby ascended the stairs to the guest room, where she planned to tidy up after a visitor's stay. She was never seen alive again. At approximately 9:30 a.m., an unseen assailant attacked Abby from behind, swinging a hatchet with brutal force. The first blow struck the back of her head, dropping her to the floor. The killer didn't stop. 19 blows later, Abby lay lifeless in a pool of blood, her face nearly unrecognizable. Meanwhile, Lizzie claimed she had been busy in the barn searching for fishing sinkers. Bridget, tired from her work, was outside cleaning the windows. Neither heard the screams, or so they later said. Shortly after 10:30 a.m., Andrew returned home from his errands. Finding the front door locked, he banged on it irritably until Bridget let him in. He reclined on the sofa in the sitting room to rest. Minutes later, someone approached. As he dozed, a sharp blade struck him above the eye, cleaving his face nearly in two. A total of 11 blows left him slumped in a sea of crimson. "Someone's killed father." Lizzie's cry echoed through the house, summoning Bridget in a panic. Andrew's body was discovered first, his blood soaking the sitting room carpet. It wasn't until neighbors and the police arrived that Abby's mutilated corpse was found upstairs. Questions began immediately. Lizzie was unervingly calm, her answers vague. She claimed not to have heard a thing and denied being in the house during either murder. Suspicion darkened the air. Why had no one seen an intruder? Why had the families to guard dogs not barked? Over the following days, small but damning pieces of evidence emerged. Lizzie had been seen burning a dress in the stove, claiming it had been ruined by paint. A hatchet with a broken handle was found in the basement, suspiciously clean. Days before the murders, Lizzie had attempted to purchase prussic acid, a deadly poison, but had been turned away by the pharmacist. The police struggled to find alternative suspects. Emma was miles away visiting friends. Bridget's alibi held, and Lizzie's claim of being in the barn was flimsy. On August 11th, Lizzie was arrested and charged with the murders. By June of 1893, Lizzie's trial had become a national spectacle. The courtroom was packed with journalists, society women, and curious onlookers. Lizzie sat in black mourning clothes, her expression serene, her demeanor calm. Her defense team, led by skilled attorneys, painted her as a victim of circumstance and societal prejudice. Prosecutors pointed to Lizzie's inconsistent statements and peculiar behavior. But without a witness, a confession, or clear forensic proof, the case faltered. The jury, all men, struggled to imagine a woman of Lizzie's standing committing such a heinous crime. After just 90 minutes of deliberation, they returned a verdict of not guilty. Lizzie was free, but the acquittal did little to sway public opinion. In the court of public judgment, Lizzie Borden would always be guilty. In the wake of the trial, Lizzie and Emma inherited their father's fortune. Lizzie purchased a grand home in Fall River, which she named Maplecroft, yet the whispers never stopped. Townsfolk shunned her, children sang mocking rhymes, and even Emma eventually moved out, estranged from her sister. Lizzie lived the rest of her days in relative isolation, dying in 1927 at the age of 66. She left behind a legacy not of wealth, but of infamy. Though more than a century has passed, the mystery endures. Who killed Andrew and Abby Borden? Was it Lizzie, fueled by years of resentment? Or was it someone else entirely, slipping in and out of the Borden house unnoticed? The hatchet may rest, but the questions remain. This is The Vault of Horrors. Thank you for watching.